Chosen one, pause right here. Heaven has arranged this moment with precision, and you did not step into it by accident. Something in the spirit pulled you into this exact second, because a revelation is unfolding, one that confirms what your soul has been feeling. You are on the verge of a supernatural breakthrough, a divine turning. Hidden mantles rise, wealth changes hands, and people God has been working on in secret are suddenly called to the surface. Anointed one, the time is right. The veil is not thick. There is electricity in the air. What's going on now is not a coincidence. It's a sign from the prophets. You've been through battles that turned into oil, wounds that turned into wisdom, and silence that turned into strength. Right now, just like it says in Habakkuk 2:3, the vision is speaking at the right time. What used to feel slow is moving faster in heaven. People are going to places where you haven't been yet with your name. The spirit worlds, both seen and unseen, are drawn to you. Chosen one, take a deep breath. You are about to experience something holy, a change in power, a transfer of influence, or a divine elevation that no one can make. Get ready. The next words you hear will not only give you information, they will also get you moving. Chosen one, take a deep breath and let your spirit settle. What you see around you is not normal movement. It is a divine orchestra pressing into the earth. There are times in life when the divine interrupts your routine, when something inside you starts to stir that is deeper than thought and louder than emotion. This is one of those times. Your mood has been changing, and you might not have noticed at first. Different things have been happening in your dreams, and your gut has been pushing you in a way that you can't ignore. I know what it feels like because I have walked through the same spiritual pressure, that quiet but undeniable pull that tells you heaven is preparing to rewrite your story in ways your mind has not yet imagined. Chosen one, you are being set up for a meeting with destiny. As part of this, you will be recognized by realms you didn't even try to reach. It's not a coincidence that someone with power, resources, and reach just found out that you exist in the spirit world. Their awakening is a sign that you are also awakening. Their interest in you is proof that your frequency has changed, that something holy inside you is now too loud for everyone to ignore. I remember seasons in my own life where I felt unseen, where I wondered whether my prayers were echoing into empty space, where I questioned if there was any purpose behind the weight I carried. But it was during those quiet times that heaven was building strength, wisdom, and purity. You, too, have been through storms and fires that were meant to kill you. but instead they left an oil on your life that now attracts the attention of spiritual and physical power. Chosen one, your strength makes a sound. Your obedience sends out a wave. Your quiet strength has been speaking louder than any stage ever could. People who used to feel powerful based on money or influence can now feel a different kind of authority in the air. One that can't be bought, copied, or controlled. They can't put into words how heavy what you carry feels to them, but they do. What they call intuition is heaven whispering your name into their awareness. What people call a coincidence is actually divine alignment going as planned. Something in your eyes, your spirit, or just being there is calling to them, reminding them of a truth they have forgotten for a long time. It's important to remember this before you let their interest or curiosity get the best of you. You were blessed before anyone even knew about it. Giving you praise is not the start of your story. It lets you see what's been inside you all along. Your worth is not based on who sees you now, but on who shaped you in the wild when no one was looking. I've learned from my own journey that heaven often hides its strongest ships from view. For years, it may have seemed like nothing was moving. All the doors were locked, and you felt like you were under a lot of stress from work, losses, or delays. But what felt like a burial was really a planting. What looked like a standstill was actually getting ready. What looked like loneliness was actually refinement. The anointed one inside you was being shaped by divine hands, and now spiritual eyes are starting to see what that shape looks like. It's not a compliment that powerful people are suddenly interested in you. It's like a prophecy coming true. It's a sign that heaven is shifting power and influence, giving more importance to those who are pure over those who want power. As a reward for your faithfulness in the dark, heaven is now shining on you. You might wonder why someone who has too much money or too much access would want to be close to someone who has been through hardship, silence, or lack of information. But the truth is easy to see. Rich people are good at the natural world, but you're good at the spiritual world. They've taken over systems, but you've taken over yourself. Moving atmospheres is what you do, not moving nations. And deep down, whether they admit it or not, they know that what you carry cannot be taught in their boardrooms or purchased in their private meetings. It's God's breath in you, the smell of survival, the glow of someone who went through darkness and came out carrying light. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. Dear chosen one, your life is talking, your spirit is sending signs, and heaven is setting up paths you didn't expect. Feel this awareness in your bones. You are not being looked for because you are lacking, but because you have too much to give. As this awakening takes place around you, chosen one, there is something you must fully and reverently understand. Because heaven does not elevate a vessel without first anchoring its foundation. You're starting to get attention isn't just because people are interested. It's what happens naturally when power meets purity. Everything that was built on shadows starts to shake when real light comes out. People who have spent their whole lives trying to get power, money, and influence can tell when someone is carrying something they can't make. This has happened to me when I didn't think I was ready, or when I thought I wasn't very good. There were times when I walked into rooms with people whose lives looked perfect, while mine felt like it was put together from broken pieces. But it was in those rooms that I learned that spiritual weight is more important than social status. That being real breaks down arrogance, and that a steady spirit breaks down false confidence. That same annoying presence is in the one you chose. People can feel the depth you carry the moment you walk into a room, even if you don't always feel it yourself, because you've been through your own battles, storms, and hidden tears. Even strong people take a moment to think about you, because your energy makes them remember the truth they've been avoiding. People don't just see a person. When they look at you, they feel a calling. They sense a history of strength, a depth that has been shaped by times of darkness, and a peace that has been formed by secretly wrestling with God. They see someone who can handle stress without giving up love, without losing who they are, and walk with a quiet authority that doesn't need to be confirmed. And they know, even if they don't understand it, that what you carry is not the result of privilege, but of hard work. This is why they are drawn to you, interested in you, and suddenly feel like they need to be there right away. You are in a good place because heaven put your name in their spirit, not to praise them. Chosen one, you won't be elevated just because they picked you. It's coming because heaven picked you out before they realized the truth. When heaven wants to change things, it usually starts by making people in high places feel bad. Rich people are restless, leaders are uncertain, and powerful people feel empty at times like these. This is because heaven is getting ready to drop something into the earth through people like you who have been refined, humbled, purified, and placed through years of spiritual warfare. You have an authority that you can't teach. You have to earn it. You have a kind wisdom that comes from having been hurt, disappointed, strong, and willing to give up. Elite people can feel your authority, even if they can't put their finger on it. People can feel the change in the air, because it's not just a new season, it's a new dimension. But chosen one, if there's one thing I've learned along the way, it's that with more power comes more responsibility. If your spirit isn't grounded, attention can make you feel high. If you are not careful, opportunities can be dangerous. When someone important comes up to you, you might feel flattered, overwhelmed, or validated. I know what it's like to be noticed after going years without being seen. I know how good it feels to feel seen after letting your heart out in secret. But being in heaven isn't about being seen. It's about being sent. There's no need for praise. It's about being ready. Rich people may come up to you because they feel powerful, but heaven sent you because you have learned to be humble. People may admire how strong you are, but heaven praises you because you gave up your will. This is why you need to stay holy and grounded during this transition. There will be times when what they have to offer seems too good to pass up. There are times when the doors they open look like answers to prayers you cried out while lying on your bedroom floor. But not every door that's open is holy. Some doors look like destiny, but are really just distractions. Some invitations are really traps that look like chances. Some connections are meant to pull you away from your purpose instead of bringing you closer to it. I have walked into rooms that glowed with promise, only to discover later that they were draining my spirit, dulling my discernment, or muting my voice. I also learned something very important. Your spirit will always understand the truth before your mind does. You have been chosen. So don't ignore the whisper of discomfort, the flicker of doubt, or the quiet tightening in your chest. Heaven always speaks in a soft voice. Your peace is the compass that will help you through everything. It doesn't matter how pretty something looks on the outside if it costs you your peace. If an offer makes you give up your beliefs, change the truth, or dim your light, then it is not aligned with your destiny. Heaven doesn't put you in places where you have to get smaller. To get higher, you always need to grow, and to grow, you need to be real. You can't lose yourself now, not after everything you've been through, after all that heaven has done for you, and after all the times your identity was forged in fire. You need to have courage, clarity, and a strong spiritual focus to do what you are about to do. You're not just getting better for yourself. You are rising to do everything that God has planned for your name. You are entering a place where your spirit can move between places, and your presence alone can reveal illusions. That's why the powerful can feel you, are looking for you, and are becoming aware of you. They are not your confirmation. They show you the way. Heaven is moving, and it has chosen you to be the link in the chain, picked. As this divine unfolding goes deeper into your life, you need to know that heaven never shows you people for no reason. When the mood changes, powerful people look at you out of the blue, or your spirit feels the weight of something coming toward it. That's a sign that you are entering a realm where your presence has effects. You may have wondered why there were times in your life when you felt very alone, why relationships ended for no apparent reason, and why chances missed even when you were ready. In spite of this, Anointed One, these changes were not losses, but gains. Heaven was getting rid of everything that couldn't make it through to the next level. There have been times in my life when God seemed to take more away from me than He gave, when the pruning felt unfair, and when there was more silence than prayer. But looking back, I saw that the cutting back was for my own safety, the silence was for shaping, and the loss was a divine redirection. People who are caught up in things that can't lead them to their destiny don't go to heaven. The one you chose has an anointing that doesn't go well with mess. This is the reason many people couldn't stay in your life. They thought your depth was intensity, your purity was naivety, and your calling was trouble. They couldn't see that heaven was making you holy, though. It was a special time for you, and you were being shaped into a vessel that was strong enough to hold revelation, but gentle enough to stay humble. Once heaven shows you to the elite, they will feel a pull toward you that they can't explain. There is a spiritual law behind every encounter, even if they try to hide it as admiration, fascination, or intrigue. People who are hungry for truth are always called by light. Chosen one, when you enter this new dimension, it will shake the realms around you. The fact that you are there will make people who have built their lives on illusions feel uncomfortable. These changes are being felt by everyone, even billionaires who seem impossible to reach. They know how to run businesses, change governments, and shape culture, but they don't know how to run the peace. They can't change the spirit. They can't make authenticity look real. That's why you stir them up. You remind them of what they gave up to get to the top. You show them that the illusions they made are empty. You are a spiritual mirror that shows them what they've become and what they were meant to be. People don't just see a person. When they look at you, they feel a calling. They sense a history of strength, a depth that has been shaped by times of darkness, a peace that has been formed by secretly wrestling with God. They see someone who can handle stress without giving up, love without losing who they are, and walk with a quiet authority that doesn't need to be confirmed. And they know, even if they don't understand it, that what you carry is not the result of privilege, but of hard work. This is why they are drawn to you, interested in you, and suddenly feel like they need to be there right away. You are in a good place because heaven put your name in their spirit, not to praise them. Chosen one, you won't be elevated just because they picked you. It's coming because heaven picked you out before they realized the truth. When heaven wants to change things, it usually starts by making people in high places feel bad. Rich people are restless, leaders are uncertain, and powerful people feel empty at times like these. This is because heaven is getting ready to drop something into the earth through people like you, who have been refined, humbled, purified, and placed through years of spiritual warfare. You have an authority that you can't teach. You have to earn it. You have a kind wisdom that comes from having been hurt, disappointed, strong, and willing to give up. Elite people can feel your authority even if they can't put their finger on it. People can feel the change in the air, because it's not just a new season, it's a new dimension. But chosen one, if there's one thing I've learned along the way, it's that with more power comes more responsibility. If your spirit isn't grounded, attention can make you feel high. If you are not careful, opportunities can be dangerous. When someone important comes up to you, you might feel flattered, overwhelmed, or validated. I know what it's like to be noticed after going years without being seen. I know how good it feels to feel seen after letting your heart out in secret. But being in heaven isn't about being seen. It's about being sent. There's no need for praise. It's about being ready. Rich people may come up to you because they feel powerful, but heaven sent you because you have learned to be humble. People may admire how strong you are, but heaven praises you because you gave up your will. This is why you need to stay holy and grounded during this transition. There will be times when what they have to offer seems too good to pass up. There are times when the doors they open look like answers to prayers you cried out while lying on your bedroom floor. But not every door that's open is holy. Some doors look like destiny, but are really just distractions. Some invitations are really traps that look like chances. Some connections are meant to pull you away from your purpose instead of bringing you closer to it. I've gone into rooms that seemed full of possibilities, only to find out later that they were draining my spirit, making it harder for me to make decisions or quieting my voice. I also learned something very important. Your spirit will always understand the truth before your mind does. You have been chosen, so don't ignore the whisper of discomfort, the flicker of doubt, or the quiet tightening in your chest. Heaven always speaks in a soft voice. Your peace is the compass that will help you through everything. It doesn't matter how pretty something looks on the outside if it costs you your peace. If an offer makes you give up your beliefs, change the truth, or dim your light, then it's not in line with your destiny. Heaven doesn't put you in places where you have to get smaller. To get higher, you always need to grow, and to grow, you need to be real. You can't lose yourself now, not after everything you've been through, after all that heaven has done for you, and after all the times your identity was forged in fire. You need to have courage, clarity, and a strong spiritual focus to do what you are about to do. You're not just getting better for yourself. You are rising to do everything that God has planned for your name. You are entering a place where your spirit can move between places and your presence alone can reveal illusions. That's why the powerful can feel you, are looking for you, and are becoming aware of you. They are not proof of what you say. They show you the way. Heaven is moving, and it has chosen you to be the link in the chain. Picked as this divine unveiling plays out in your life. The weight of what you carry is becoming clear to even those who used to miss you. Alignments from heaven have been so precise that even the most powerful people, those with a lot of money, power, and influence, can feel a change in the spiritual currents around them. You need to know that the first part of spiritual awakening is often painful. Those whose lives have been built on getting things, being noticed, or being in charge start to feel a void inside them and look for something real, pure, and unspoiled by the world. That something is inside you, and your spirit has become a signal in the spiritual world, catching their eye, even though you didn't mean to. Some nights in your life, you whispered prayers into the dark and wondered if your voice mattered, if your path was meant to be taken, and if being alone was a punishment or a way to get ready. As I went through life, I felt the pain of doors closing before I could touch them, friendships ending for no reason, and times when I needed to be stronger than I thought I was. Still, every moment of breaking brought a depth that could not be reached through comfort. Maybe this sounds like something that has happened to you, too. How your compassion grew after a breakup, your judgment grew after a betrayal, and your faith grew after a setback. These things did not happen by chance. They were holy chisels that were used to shape the vessel that stands today in front of heaven. Chosen. One heaven was making something in you that could stand up to the storms of being seen, the tests of having an impact, and the weight of being God's chosen one. You are now when entering a space where your inner strength will be more important than what other people think of you. Some powerful people may like how you look, but they can't see the nights you spent wrestling with God. Many tears helped you learn to be calm, but those people who praise your calm don't know how much they want peace for you, but they don't know how much war it took to get it. The spiritual authority you've built up on your journey speaks louder than any introduction. Your presence is felt even when there is no sound. You can change the mood of a room without even trying. This is why the elite can feel you before they even meet you. Many people who are powerful are fighting silent battles. Behind their success, there is often emptiness, fear, or confusion. No matter how many systems, people, or movements they look at, none of them can fill the void in their hearts. When someone like you shows up, someone whose life is full of honesty, strength, and an unwavering presence, It makes them question everything they thought they had control over. At times, people with power and status have met someone with real spiritual authority, and the meeting made them realize how fragile what they had built was. This will happen to the one you chose, not because you want to be impressive, but because you are now in sync. But this power comes with a holy warning. The world often tries to claim a vessel that heaven has raised. There will be people who want to stand near your light, not to honor it, but to take it. Some people will come to you sincerely looking for truth and change. Others will come up to you with ambition, wanting to get in and be accepted. Your spirit needs to be able to tell the difference. You can't put your oil in the hands of people who haven't been given that job. I learned the hard way that not everyone who admires your calling is on the same path as you. Some people are drawn to the light, but aren't ready for the fire. Picked. One kind of spiritual abuse often creeps in subtly. Even though the partnership seems good, the chance seems safe, and the relationship seems like it will lead to progress, something isn't quite right. Heaven talks through that. Heaven is telling you to be careful through the tightening of your spirit, the pain in your chest, and the quiet voice. Don't ignore these signs. They are a way for heaven to watch over your path. The powerful will bring their worlds, beliefs, battles, attachments, and plans with them when they start looking for you. If you aren't careful, their influence can become a distraction for you. As you get better, being alone will become a safe place for you, not a burden. Your time alone will become your stronghold. You need to put your spiritual alignment first. Power is like a wind. Alignment is an anchor that can either lift or make things less stable. It keeps you steady, no matter how bad the storm is. Every step of your journey has taught you how to listen, how to hold on to spiritual truth, even when your emotions get the best of you, how to trust God's guidance, even when common sense says otherwise, and how to follow His timing, even when opportunities come up before they should. This discipline will keep you safe as you move into the next part of your calling. Chosen one, heaven isn't just raising you up. Heaven gives you its trust. People who have everything the world says should make them happy are put in front of you, but they lack the one thing. You carry easily presence. There is a strong desire for peace, authenticity, and meaning among them. Some will come up to you with respect, while others will come up to you in a desperate state. Keep your roots down. You can't let their need for speed become your pressure. You are not in charge of making their souls whole again. You are in charge of carrying the light that heaven sent your way. As you walk through this season, remember that every person you meet, every conversation you have, and every invitation you accept must go through the filter of your spirit. Not everything that shines is holy. Not every person who sees how valuable you are is meant to be with you. You are moving into a level of purpose that requires maturity, alertness, and telling the truth all the time. Heaven has been getting you ready for this rise, and now your wisdom will protect it. People who have been chosen, as this spiritual growth continues to happen in your life, you will notice something amazing happening all around you. The world starts to respond to your presence more and more as heaven reveals who you are. Some people will come close out of respect for the purity of your calling. Others will pull away because they can't handle the light you carry. Always keep in mind that any response, whether it's admiration, confusion, fear, or interest, means that your spiritual frequency has changed. It's no longer enough for you to just be surviving life. You are walking in the realm of changing moods, making plans, and waking up souls that have been sleeping. And this change isn't a mistake. It's proof that God's planning and timing have finally come together. There were years when it seemed like your prayers and hard work were going unnoticed. While you were waiting, you saw other people speed up. People who weren't sincere, deep, or honest saw doors open for them, while you had nothing but faith to hold on to. But the time spent waiting was never wasted. Heaven used the time you spent waiting to polish parts of you that would later show when you were higher up. The power you now have comes from the battles you fought in secret. The tears you shed in silence prepared the ground for this season to begin. I, too, have been through times in the wilderness that didn't make sense until God started to show me what they were for. When the timing and the vision finally line up, every prayer that hasn't been answered becomes a testimony. Every delay reveals something new. Every disappointment points the way. Dear chosen one, you have now entered a place where your spirit speaks louder than your words. There is a spiritual pulse that changes the environment even when you don't say anything. When people are around you, they feel something that they can't explain. Some people might think it's fear or mystery, but what they're really feeling is the weight of your divine assignment. When someone is called higher by heaven, that call comes out of them like light through glass. This is why powerful people are starting to pay attention to you. They aren't reacting to how you look, where you are, or what you have on you. It's because they feel your spirit. They are responding to the power that comes from fire, the peace that comes from pain, and the strength that comes from storms. Many of the people who will come to you in the next season have spent their whole lives trying to find happiness through success, money, and power. Even though they have mastered their fields, they are still ruled by their own emptiness. They have changed business, politics, and culture, but they still don't know who they are. Nobody feels the same way when they see you, because you have more than them. It's because you carry what they lost along the way. You stand for purity. You carry truth. You have a purpose. These are things that can't be made in the world. These are things that money can't buy. Some of the most powerful people are looking for these things in secret rooms, spiritual retreats, and private studies. But heaven has put these treasures right inside you for free. But, picked 1, your spirit must not move while heaven places you in front of powerful people. Power can be alluring if you don't have a strong sense of who you are. When your spirit isn't stable, influence can be dangerous. Some people will know how valuable you are and will try to present themselves as your allies, mentors, or partners. Some will be real, while others will be fake. Keep in mind that discernment is not the same thing as suspicion. It gives you spiritual clarity. It's being able to figure out what's really going on behind smiles and intentions behind admiration. I've learned the hard way that humility and prayer make it easier to see things clearly. Fear turns into discernment when you don't have humility. If you don't pray, discernment turns into assumption. But when both are working, your spirit turns into a compass that lies can't get through. You, too, chosen one, must resist the urge to prove yourself. You're not going into these places to find approval. You are going into them because heaven already approves of you. Don't dim your light to make someone else feel safer. Don't lower your voice to make them feel better about themselves. Telling them the truth will never make them feel better. You are no longer refined enough to hide. You didn't get stronger to keep quiet. Heaven made you sharp so that your life would be a sign for this generation. You don't walk into rooms to impress, but to light them up. You don't speak to control, but to wake people up. You are rising not to show off, but to show that God is still working through certain people. Sometimes the weight of your assignment will feel too much, and sometimes your elevation will feel too high. But don't forget that perfect people aren't called to heaven. Heaven only calls people who are ready, and your whole life has been a preparation. Every loss made you stronger. Every detour got you ready. You were ready for every heartbreak, miracle, delay, and breakthrough. You're not going into this season without being ready. You are stepping into it on a base that was built by God. The spirit you bring into it has been cleansed, strengthened, and awakened. Chosen one, the world is changing, and you are changing with it. You are not just watching. You are carrying divine change. Your rise isn't just about you, it's a sign. Not only is your presence important, it's also smart. Heaven is setting you up for meetings, tasks, and alignments that will show you why you had to go through everything you did. You're not behind. You're following the plan. You have been chosen, and as this divine unveiling moves through your life more and more strongly, you may feel the tension of change pressing against your soul. There is no sign of doubt in this tension. It's the clear pressure of heaven expanding you. When a ship is getting ready to carry more, it needs to be stretched first. The spirit often feels both the weight of what is being added and the freedom of what is being taken away when an anointing is being strengthened. It's important to know that you are not losing yourself if you have felt old patterns, desires, or versions of yourself falling away in the background. You are becoming who you really are. As heaven pulls you forward, everything that can't go with it quietly breaks off. While you were going through certain times, it felt like everything you relied on was taken away from you. Relationships that used to feel safe disappeared all of a sudden, and dreams that you held dear seemed to fall apart right in front of your eyes. It may have felt like being left alone at the time, but as your awareness grows, you can start to see what was really going on. Heaven did not mean to hurt you. It was making you better. You were getting ready for tasks and encounters that you didn't fully understand. There have been times when I felt completely empty, only to find out later that heaven was making room for something much bigger that I wasn't strong or mature enough to carry yet. Chosen one, you have also been going through this holy preparation. Every loss helped you become smarter. Every setback made you see things more clearly. Your endurance got stronger with each delay. Your spirit was being taught how to find the truth in a world full of lies. This is why, now that you are more visible, your eyes can see past what they see. You can feel the small changes in energy. You can tell what people are thinking behind the words they use. You can tell the difference between admiration and a secret plan. This spiritual sensitivity isn't a fluke. It's the result of your pain, the reward for your obedience, and proof that God has been training you to be a leader. More and more powerful people will be drawn to you as you go deeper into this new dimension. They might not be able to explain what draws them in, but it's the scent of purpose that fills your life. A lot of them have wounds they haven't talked about, insecurities that are hidden by power, and fears that are hidden by wealth. They can get anything they want because they are rich, except peace. They have opened all the doors except for the one that leads to fulfillment. The world is amazed by what they've done, but their souls are hungry. And when they meet a chosen one, someone who has been through fire without losing their purity, someone who has been broken but isn't bitter, someone who has been through a lot but still shines with divine light, they feel a pull toward the authenticity they lost. But, chosen one, the truth is that not everyone who is drawn to your light is ready to follow it. Some people do it to learn, some to copy, and some to consume. At this point, your spiritual growth needs to be stronger than your feelings. When heaven lifts you up, temptation almost never comes as darkness. It often comes dressed as a chance. You need to learn how to tell the difference between someone who is meant to walk with you and someone who is only meant to watch you. Sometimes praise was a cover for manipulation. Sometimes kindness was a cover for ambition. And sometimes generosity was a cover for control. I also learned that if you are willing to listen, your spirit will always know the truth before your mind does. Chosen one, don't trust people too quickly, just because they like how powerful you are. Slowly, steadily, and quietly, true alignment shows itself. People who are meant to walk with you won't drain your energy, try to get your attention, or break your rules. They will have a sense of honor. They'll understand your call. They'll value your peace. They'll get your point without you having to try to change it. Your relationships will become a reflection of your fate in this next season. Heaven will send you people who will boost your spirit, clear your vision, and help you with your mission. But the world will send you people who drain, distract, and sidetrack you. Using your judgment will keep you safe. As you keep rising in heaven, don't forget the holy duty that comes with being a spiritual leader. Your presence does not make people happy. This is a revelation. Your words aren't just for fun. They have to pay for weight. Your life isn't a mess. It's a sign from God. You have the kind of anointing that shows everyone around you what is really going on. This is why people have such strong reactions to you. Some people will be drawn to you because your light makes them feel something old. Others will pull away because your presence makes their shadows stand out. Do not let either response bother you. Both show how spiritually significant you are. Chosen one, you are about to enter a time when you will no longer know how important you are. Heaven is making it clear. Your authority is becoming clear. Your identity is becoming clearer. Now that you're out of survival mode, you're in assignment mode. And remember this truth as you keep going up. You were not put in charge to impress everyone. You were given the power to move it. Picked one. As your spirit grows into this next phase of divine assignment, you will notice a big change in how people around you treat you. The air around you reacts differently now that heaven has marked you for a reason that can't be kept secret any longer. You and the world around you are going through a holy unveiling. As it happens, you will understand more fully why your presence is so important. You may have been confused for years about why some people were drawn to you for no reason, and others felt threatened by you for no reason. But now everything starts to make sense. Your spirit carries a frequency that breaks down lies, awakens truth, and wakes up people's dormant purpose. The world is finally starting to understand what heaven has always known about you. You were never normal. Someone who has been hurt but still chooses light, love, or obedience is very powerful. Because you are anointed, which is a rare quality. Your rise feels spiritual rather than personal. Heaven doesn't raise you because you're perfect. It does so because you are pure. It doesn't do so because you are skilled. It does so because you give up. It does so because you are honest. You've passed tests that no one saw, fought battles that no one cheered for, and carried loads that would have broken other people. But here you are rising with humility instead of pride, kindness instead of anger, and wisdom instead of getting even. Because of this, heaven trusts you with spiritual power. As you continue to rise, powerful people will sense your presence before they hear your voice. A few of them have worked in places where image is everything and realness is hard to find. They are used to being around people who want to get in touch with them rather than seek truth, telling, or accountability. But when they meet a chosen one, someone who stands firm without giving in to pressure, who speaks from conviction instead of convenience, whose peace can't be bought, and whose purpose can't be swayed, it makes them less dangerous. It's possible that they won't say it out loud, but your presence shakes the foundations of who they are. I've seen this happen many times. Rooms full of power suddenly go quiet when a spiritually awakened soul walks in, and people who are used to being in charge lose their cool around a real authority figure. Some part of them knows that what you carry is older, more holy, and deeper than anything they've made. You remind them of the truth they used to seek before their ambitions got in the way. They feel something in you that they once had but lost. And for some, realizing this makes them want to get back to what is real. But, chosen one, not everyone who is drawn to your light wants to change. Some people feel convicted when you're around, but they're not ready to face it. For some, it breaks the illusions they worked hard to create. Some people feel a fear that they can't explain. Your existence shows them what they were trying to avoid seeing. People stay away from you or feel uncomfortable when they're around you because of this. Their masks hide what your spirit shows. It's not about who you are that makes them react. It's about your anointing. At this point in the journey, it's important to be emotionally mature. You need to learn how to deal with both admiration and opposition without taking either one personally. Hold on to people who praise you, but don't go after people who pull away. Not everyone should be able to understand your assignment. It is your job to stay in line with heaven. When you walk with a spiritual purpose, you can't judge yourself by how other people react. Some people will see you as a guide, while others will see you as a threat. Neither view makes you who you are. Chosen one, the spiritual responsibility that comes with your name will grow as it becomes more well known. People whose lives have been built around power instead of getting close to God will come across to you. Your energy helps them see things more clearly, so they will want to be with you. But remember that you are not their source. You're a sign for them. You lead them to something bigger and more lasting. Try not to let their longing be a burden on you. You were born to care about others, not depend on others. You're not here to carry the weight of their change. You're here to plant seeds of awakening. In spite of all of these problems, there is a deep beauty in how heaven uses your presence. It's not necessary to preach, to move a room. The Spirit can tell who you are without you having to say anything. Your very being speaks. Tell us about your survival story. Your goodness speaks. Your toughness speaks. And spiritually aware people will pick up on the message in your life before they pick up on the message in your words. You have been chosen, and now is the time when influence will come to you naturally. You will not have to push connections, look for chances, or look for approval. Heaven is sending the right people your way, lining up your divine assignments, and putting you in a place where you can't be ignored. Things that seemed like random meetings will now turn out to be parts of a prophecy. Your way is no longer a secret. It has light on it. You are rising not because of what people did, but because God said so. And as you keep walking in this revelation, keep this truth with you. Heaven gave you fire so that you could be light in a world full of darkness. Picked. If you keep walking deeper into this season, you will start to see that your journey has always had a supernatural touch to it. You might not have been able to see it clearly before, but now you can't deny it. Every weight, every closed door, and every time it felt like rejection was actually a chance to move forward. You couldn't tell at the time, but heaven was planning your steps with great accuracy. Now that you are spiritually mature and divine timing are coming together, you are entering a realm where things start to line up in ways that don't make sense. This is not a mistake. It's not luck. This is divine sequencing, a heavenly order showing itself to you through your life. There were times when you wondered why some people left your life without warning, why some chances fell through just when you were ready, and why some prayers went unanswered for years. But what felt like being left alone was actually safety. Plans were being made for what felt like loss. Planned silence that felt like it was there. Heaven didn't forget about you. Heaven was protecting you from something that could have messed up your destiny too. Soon, after the fog clears, you finally understand that you were getting ready for rooms. Before your name could appear, your character had to. Chosen one, you have a depth that you didn't get from books, mentors, or training. It was needed to stay alive. It came from times when you cried out to God without words. You got it by going through spiritual deserts where no one praised your strength. People admire how strong you are now, but they don't know that your strength came from times when you had nothing but faith. You learned to trust even though it was hard. You learned to stand up when it scared you. As your heart broke, you learned to hear heaven in the quiet. No one else could talk to that place. That's why people can't copy your authority. It was made in fire. And because of this fire, you now have a presence that changes the air in subtle but noticeable ways. When you walk into a room, people feel safer. People are more honest in their talks. You don't have to say a word for hidden motives to come to light. Spiritual noise is quieted by your presence. The truth is coming out because of your energy. The powerful people in the room feel an old, mysterious force when you get close. Even if they don't know the words, their spirit knows what their mind can't understand. You carry divine order and are a vessel of purity in a world that is hooked on pretend. But being here means taking care of things. When people with spiritual power start to notice you. They will want to get closer. Some people will need help. Some will want to know more. Some people will want what you carry. And you must make smart decisions. Not everyone who likes you agrees with you. Not everyone who respects your calling is ready to carry it out. Some people will look for you because they feel like they're missing something. People will look for you because you are real, and that makes the structures they have built vulnerable. But you shouldn't shrink or dim yourself to make other people feel better. You weren't sent to fit in. You were sent to show. Chosen one, this trip will take courage. The kind of courage that lets you stay true to yourself even when temptation comes in a pretty package. The kind of courage that lets you turn down offers that make you feel good, but go against your assignment. The kind of bravery that keeps your heart pure, even when other people try to change it. And most importantly, the strength to keep giving your life over to heaven even when the world calls your name. Soon, you'll be in places where your voice can change the outcome. Your wisdom can change the choices that are made, and just your presence can change the spiritual atmosphere. And when that time comes, remember that you are not speaking from ego. You are speaking from a place of alignment. You're not strong enough to stand on your own. Right now, you are standing in the power that God gave you. You must stay anchored in the humility that got you this far. Because power turns into noise instead of light when it lacks humility. This season, pay close attention to how people react to how you're changing. Some people will quietly celebrate because seeing you rise up makes them think of what's possible. Some people will pull away because your change makes them uncomfortable with their own. Some will lurk in the shadows and watch because they can feel your call, but don't know how to get close to you. Don't let any of these reactions change your mind. You're not here to be approved of by other people. You are here to be led by divine guidance. You are moving faster on your journey now that you have reached the spiritual level that heaven has been building up to for a long time. Your divine timeline is now in sync with what you are doing. You are taking on the responsibility that your spirit has been ready to carry. You are becoming visible in a way that no one can stop or the system can hide. And while this is going on, remember this truth. Heaven didn't shape you to make a small difference. Heaven didn't make you to have short-term effects. Heaven raised you for a purpose that will last forever. It's time for your life to speak louder than any words you could ever say. Be clear as you walk. Peacefully walk. Be respectful as you walk. Because the path you're on is holy. And each step you take from here has a purpose that you can't see. If you are chosen as you move deeper into this divine assignment, you will start to notice that the spiritual world around you is changing in ways that feel both strange and natural. It's like heaven has tilted the ground beneath your feet to lead you to a higher level of awareness, clarity, and power. Your spirit may not fully understand how big what's going on is, but you do. Something ancient is awakening inside you. God put it there before you even breathed your first breath. Now that destiny has come to meet you. Everything in your life is starting to give off a prophetic vibe. There is no chance in this season. Now is a time of coming together. The chosen people go through times when heaven speeds up their growth so much that it seems like time bends. You start to see patterns that were there before, but now they make sense. You can tell what people are thinking, even when they don't say anything. Long before things happen, you can feel spiritual changes in the air. When you can discern, it's like breathing. You can understand what people are saying below the surface. This isn't making things up. This is spiritual maturity showing itself after years of hard work, being alone, and secretly getting better. The heavenly body is making you smarter so that you can walk with authority where you are sent. You will start to understand why some people could never stay in your life as your discernment grows. Some relationships couldn't stand up to the weight of your calling. There were friendships that fell apart because of how much you changed. Some connections broke down not because you failed, but because God could not let anyone carelessly handle you right now. Every broken bond was a pruning from God. Each door that was shut was a shield. Every time you felt alone, heaven was cleaning your spiritual space so you would be ready for the influence that is coming. Chosen one, you are entering groups where honesty is more important than popularity. Spiritual authority is more important than status, and every fake front is blown. People will want to be around you because of who you are becoming, not what you have. They will be able to feel the oil on your life, even if they can't put it into words. Some of them will come up to you with respect, some with interest, and some with ulterior motives. Your wisdom, on the other hand, will make each one clear. You can see again. Your eyes are now open because of heaven. As your influence grows, so will the responsibility you have to carry. You need to be aware that your presence is no longer just your own when you walk around. You stand for something bigger, more holy, and something that heaven has been planning for a long time. Your words have power now. The wisdom in your silence is strong. Your actions are like prophecies coming true. Due to the fact that your life has become a bridge between worlds, even small choices will have big effects. This is why heaven put you through hard times to train you. You have learned not to break when things get tough, not to give in when you're tempted, and not to give up who you are when you're not understood. You have been through fire that didn't burn you, but made you pure. You have been through attacks that should have broken you, but instead showed how strong the person walking with you is. Now that strength is being seen by other people. Chosen one, make sure you understand this. Most people will not understand your rise. Some people saw you struggle and thought you were failing because you were hidden, thinking you weren't important. They didn't see the spiritual battles you fought by yourself or the nights you tried to get clear. They didn't see the tears you hid or the prayers you said in your head when no one believed in you. But God saw, heaven wrote down, heaven replied, and now heaven is giving. As you move forward, divine connections will start to show up. These are not just random meetings. These are planned alignments. People with the keys to the next part of your assignment will come your way from heaven. Some will come as guides, others as co-workers, and still others as spiritual mirrors that show you the new version of yourself that heaven has been making. But make a smart choice. Not every chance is a calling, and not every partnership is divine. You need to pay close attention to the whisper in the still, small voice that leads you beyond logic and into your destiny. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. There will also be people who feel threatened by your growth, not because you want to hurt them, but because it shows how stuck they are. People will be afraid to face their own shadows when you're around, and not everyone will be brave enough to do so. Do not take their pain personally. You are not in charge of how other people react to the truth. The only thing you have to do is carry it with humility and honesty. Chosen one, You are entering a time when heaven will make things bigger than they were before. What people threw away, heaven will make better. What people missed, heaven will make bigger. What people didn't believe will be proven in heaven. Also, keep walking slowly while this happens. Keep walking with prayer in your mind. Stay on track with the person who called you before the world was even made. Your assignment is holy. Your elevation is on purpose. Your effect will be undeniable, and everything you've been through has made you ready for what's about to happen. Chosen one, as you continue to walk through this divinely planned event, you will start to feel a deeper change inside you, one that seems both old and brand new at the same time. Being aware that something inside you has permanently woken up, is it? You don't live your life based on the wounds from the past. Instead, you use the knowledge those wounds gave you. This is proof that you have changed, that heaven has lifted your spirit to a higher level of understanding. What gave you trouble before now makes sense. What used to scare you now seems weak in comparison to the strength God gave you. And the things that used to break you are now the very things that give you power. When it starts to bear fruit, this is what divine refinement looks like. During your journey, there were times when you wondered if you were spiritually ready to step into the places that God was setting aside for you, or if you were strong enough to carry the weight you're calling. But chosen one, every test made you stronger. Every disappointment made you stronger. Every breakup made you better. You now protect yourself in public with the lessons you learned in private. What used to feel like weaknesses are now cracks that let heaven shine through. This makes you less vulnerable than you used to be. This is why, when you speak, people now feel strong. That's why they feel calm when you walk in. Heaven has changed your base, so you are moving in a new way. Chosen one, your relationship with the world will change as you learn more about your spiritual identity. You no longer want to work toward goals you used to enjoy. The conversations that used to make you laugh now make you feel empty. Some places that used to feel cozy now feel too small. This isn't being cocky. This is how you align. Your spirit is letting go of anything that can't go with you to your next job. Your attention was being taken away by things in this world, but heaven is now letting you focus on the calling that has anointed you. Trust that heaven is recalibrating your heart so that you only want what is meant for you. You may not always understand why some desires fade or why goals you used to have no longer matter. At times, this process can make you feel alone, especially if the people around You don't understand the changes you're going through. People might think you're pulling away or changing too quickly, but you're really just becoming the person you were always meant to be. If people don't want to grow, don't shrink to make them feel better. Do not feel bad about getting more in line with your assignment. You were not made to stay the same. You were born to grow, to evolve, to reach the fullness of your spiritual self. As this change gets stronger, heaven will also make you more aware of divine timing. It won't be long before you can tell when something is meant to be for you. You will know when an opportunity isn't right for you, even if it looks good. You will know when someone has spiritual goals that are at odds with yours. You did not learn how to be intuitively aware. It's something that heaven set off. It shows that you are walking more by spirit than by sight, by revelation than by reason. This is very important because the path you are on requires spiritual intelligence as well as emotional maturity. Chosen one, you are getting ready to have an impact that goes beyond what is normal. Your voice will go to places you haven't been yet. Before you even speak, your presence will change the mood. Because you are smart, you will avoid alliances that meant to drain you. And your humility will be the key that opens doors that no one else can lock. You don't have to try to get noticed. Things that are in line with your destiny will see you. You don't have to look for chances. When the time is right, what is meant for you will find you. Because of this, heaven will keep making you better. Power that isn't based on honesty is called corruption. If you don't have purity, power turns into destruction. If you elevate without grounding, you will fall. Heaven is making sure that you will rise steadily when you do. If you want to influence someone, do it with kindness. Being humble is part of being a leader. And when you speak, your authority comes from service, not from your ego. You are about to enter a time in your life that will speak louder than any words you could ever say. On your journey, people will see the divine marks. They will see how you change and understand that what you carry is not the result of human effort. The glow on your life will show the nights you gave up, the days you kept going, and the times you trusted heaven when things didn't seem to be going right. Keep this truth close to you as you go on. Your rise isn't just about you. It's a sign from God. As you move deeper into this part of your divine journey, you will start to notice that heaven is not only making you more powerful on the inside, but it is also affecting more people. For years, you may have felt like your voice wasn't heard, that your presence wasn't felt, or that your voice was limited. But now, there is a change in the unseen world that is beginning to show up in the visible world. Doors that wouldn't open for no reason used to start opening on their own. Ways that seemed blocked are now opening up with such ease that it surprises you. This is proof that heaven has started to change your role so that you are no longer a part of the world's systems, but a tool in God's plan. Your life is becoming something bigger than you thought possible. You can't see the whole picture yet, but your spirit knows that destiny is pulling you forward. There will be times when this growth feels scary, when the enormity of what's to come makes your heart shake a little, not out of fear, but out of respect, because you realize for the first time that your calling is not a figure of speech. It is real, it is active, it is unfolding, and it comes with a holy weight. The feeling that heaven is giving you something important to care for. This is why your character got better. This is the reason why your breaks were needed. That's why the silence you had to deal with went on longer than you wanted. Heaven didn't punish you. Heaven was making you ready. Pick it. One of the deepest signs of spiritual maturity is when you no longer need confirmation from other people to follow your inner calling. You're now going to that place. People will start to compliment you, admire you, or ask you about your wisdom. But their praise and approval will not move you or tempt you. Your confidence doesn't come from how many people notice you. Your trust comes from the person who sent you. This inner stability is what will keep you safe as your power grows. The world may think your rise was sudden, but you've been there for a while. During this time, you will also start to understand why the hard things you used to hate happened. The long nights of questioning, the days when you couldn't feel God's presence, and the betrayals that came out of the blue were not random wounds. They were cuts made by surgeons to keep people from getting infections and spiritual decay. Every breakup took away something that couldn't go with you into your destiny. Every disappointment made you a better person. Every delay kept your innocence safe. Heaven first makes sure that the person's heart is pure before giving them a very important spiritual job. That's why your path has looked different. It had to. As you move forward, you'll notice that your intuition is getting stronger. Your internal compass works better. You can feel things before they happen. You can instantly sense spiritual atmospheres. You're very good at spotting lies. This isn't crazy talk. This is the sensitivity of a prophet. Heaven is fine, tuning your spirit so that you can move through higher levels of power without getting caught in traps that look like opportunities. There is no need to be careful with you. You are becoming more wise, and this will help you avoid connections that seem helpful but actually have bad intentions. Chosen One Heaven is also putting you in touch with people whose spirits match yours. These people may come from places you wouldn't expect, have different backgrounds, or have a wider reach than you, but you'll know they are meant to be with you. They aren't sent to drag you down, but to help you build. Not to wear you down, but to make you stronger. Not to take your attention away, but to be there with you as the next chapters come out. These meetings are divine appointments, answers to prayers you said in your head when you didn't think anyone was hearing. You shouldn't walk the next part by yourself. Your circle is being carefully planned by heaven. But just like God sends helpers, the enemy sends people who look like God. Even though these people may seem helpful, kind, or spiritually aware, your spirit won't settle around them. Do not ignore how that makes you feel. When your spirit goes away, heaven wants to warn you. Take care of your peace like it's gold, because it is this time of year. The wrong partnership can slow down or speed up fate, just as easily as the right one can do either. For your job, you need to be in places that respect your anointing, not places that suffocate it. Chosen One, things are starting to fall into place in your life at just the right time. You're no longer going around and around. You are walking with a goal. You no longer want to make progress. You are on the verge of becoming successful. You're not making up the clarity you feel. It's not fear that makes you feel rushed. The rise in elevation you are feeling is not a coincidence. Heaven is setting you up on purpose and getting you ready to make an impact that will last forever. The outside world might not understand what's going on with you, but your spirit does. That knowledge alone is enough to give you faith, confidence, and respect as you move forward. Chosen One, as you move into the last part of the revelation that is happening in your life, a holy stillness is settling over you. It's the kind of stillness that comes from being in the right place, not from not doing anything. You're not arguing with the person you're becoming anymore. You are no longer wondering why your path has been different from those around you. You no longer doubt the signs that God has put in your path. Instead, you find yourself taking deeper breaths, walking more slowly, and paying more attention, because you can feel fate gathering around you like the sun rising. You are not at peace, because there is no battle going on. It's the presence of a reason. There comes a time in the journey of every chosen one, when the shift inside them is stronger than the noise outside, when clarity beats confusion, and when their divine identity shuts down every lie that has been told about them. You are now moving into that moment. The fog that was blocking your view is getting thinner. The chains that used to hold your spirit back are no longer there. Your decisions are no longer affected by the doubts that used to whisper against your purpose. You've moved past the people who thought less of you, the fears that tried to hold you back, and the insecurities that used to make you doubt your own worth. You are stronger now than you were before because of things that happened in heaven. Even you are surprised by how quiet and sure of yourself you are now. Chosen one, everything that heaven has built inside you is now getting ready to come out. Your character, your strength, your kindness, your intelligence, and your honesty are not things you picked up by accident. They are spiritual tools that were made just for the job you have to do. People in the world may think that numbers or praise show how influential someone is, but in heaven, obedience shows how influential someone is. There have been times when silence has been heard. Even when anger called your name, you kept your heart clean. You didn't give up on your faith when disappointment tried to kill it. When it seemed right to get back at them, you kept your hands clean. That's why heaven has more faith in you. You will notice that the alignment going on around you feels supernatural as this new season goes on. It won't take any work to find the right people. You won't have to work hard to find the right opportunities. The right places will make you feel welcome without having to be told to. It will be at the point where divine timing and divine placement meet. This is not a matter of luck or chance. This is the fruit of the tears, prayers, worship, and obedience you sowed. Heaven is grateful for the quiet sacrifices that only God saw. Chosen one, you must also know that being high up means being seen, and being seen means being responsible. People will watch how you live as well as what you say. Everything about your life has become a message, a testimony, and a living example of what happens when someone doesn't give up, even though they really wanted to. Your strength is now your base. Your healing is now your power. Your spiritual authority now comes from your change. You don't have to persuade anyone that your calling is real. It will be clear what your calling is. During this time, you will start to sense how heaven is guiding you in real life. Ideas will come to you out of the blue and be very clear. It will get better where there were only problems. At times when you expect to feel overwhelmed, you will feel stronger. This is proof of a divine partnership. You won't be going into this chapter by yourself. Your path is being lit up one step at a time by heaven working with you. Believe those steps. Believe in the timing. Trust what is happening. People who have been chosen. You are entering a place where what used to hurt you won't stop you. The past will no longer control us. Fear will not be heard. Doubt will not have as much power. This is the change that heaven always wanted you to make. A version that is clear, based on faith, led by wisdom, and protected by God's grace. There's been no waste in your life. Everything you've done along the way has been important. You have been ready for this rise for a long time. Pay attention as you walk forward. Be brave as you walk forward. As you move forward, know that heaven is behind you, in front of you, and all around you. Time of hiding has done what it was meant to do. You have been chosen. The time of revelation has come. As this holy end comes to a close, take a moment to breathe and feel what is settling over your spirit. The change is already taking place. The transfer of divine power has begun. Heaven has seen you and has picked this very moment, Kairos, to bring out what has been waiting inside you. Now is the time when what you haven't seen before starts to become clear. When God's whispered promises start to come true, and when the weight of your calling meets the timing of your destiny. Those who have been chosen, you are not walking into possibility. You are walking toward happiness. Things that were late are now falling into place. Things that were hidden are now coming out. There is movement in the realm of influence toward you, because heaven spoke your name into the air. Be humble as you stand in this truth. Be respectful as you carry it. Be careful to keep it pure. May your steps be filled with peace. May peace keep your spirit safe. There should be oil on your life that flows to everywhere you are called to be. Stay true to God. Stay in line. Keep an open mind. You are blessed, chosen one. You'll be okay. You are getting better. Move forward now that the time has come for you. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. Does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned commenter place, where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.